The foundation of your life is you. Before you attempt to change the world, influence others, or solve external problems, you must first fix yourself. Your character, your mindset, your habits, and your purpose must be aligned with the principles of God. When you fail to take responsibility for your personal development, you leave a vacuum that chaos, failure, and disappointment will fill. You cannot give what you do not possess. You cannot lead others if your own life is in disarray. Everything begins with self-mastery. True leadership begins with self-leadership. True influence begins with self-discipline. True success begins with self-awareness. Fix yourself first, and everything else can wait, because the person you become is the key to unlocking every door in your life. The world can wait, destiny cannot. The divine purpose inside you requires readiness, preparation, and personal transformation. Until you take ownership of your life, blame, excuses, and external circumstances will always dominate you. Fix your mind, fix your attitude, fix your character, fix your emotions, fix your relationships with God and man. When you do this, doors that were previously locked will begin to open. Opportunities will begin to manifest, and people will be drawn to the excellence and integrity in your life. Nothing external can substitute for internal transformation. No degree, no title, no inheritance, no position can replace the work that must be done within you. You must commit to growth, to learning, to correcting mistakes, to humility, and to understanding your worth and potential. Your life is a reflection of what is inside you. If your vision is unclear, your actions will be misdirected. If your habits are destructive, your future will be compromised. If your character is flawed, your relationships will suffer. Fix yourself first, because everything else depends on the quality of the person you become. Every decision you make, every influence you accept, every relationship you enter is filtered through the person you are. The world is filled with people who chase success while ignoring self-mastery, and they wonder why their achievements crumble. The truth is simple: internal neglect produces external failure. You cannot outsource your development to someone else. You cannot rely on circumstances, luck, or other people to correct your deficiencies. You must take personal responsibility. Your mind must be disciplined, your spirit must be nurtured, your heart must be purified, and your life must reflect purpose. Self-examination is essential. You must identify weaknesses, confront fears, acknowledge sins, and embrace accountability. Without honesty with yourself, transformation is impossible. Too many people live in denial, pretending to be what they are not while hoping for results they cannot achieve. You cannot hope to influence a nation, a family, or a workplace if you have not mastered yourself. Fix yourself first, because leadership without self-leadership is destruction in disguise. Your life is your message. Your character is your platform. Your integrity is your currency. Until these are established, no external achievement can satisfy the purpose God has placed within you. The work begins with you. It begins with self-discipline in your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your decisions. It begins with a commitment to personal excellence, a refusal to accept mediocrity, and a willingness to endure discomfort to grow. The path to greatness is not through shortcuts, but through preparation, perseverance, and personal transformation. You must confront your weaknesses, break free from destructive patterns, and embrace habits that align with your divine potential. Fix yourself first, and the world will respond. Doors will open that you could not force open. People will recognize your worth and integrity. Opportunities will find you because your life has become a reflection of excellence and purpose. If you delay the work of self-improvement, you delay destiny. The moment you commit to fixing yourself, you set into motion a chain of events that will impact everything else. Spiritual maturity must precede influence. Emotional stability must precede leadership. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Power without character is destructive. Your influence, your success, and your impact are determined not by external circumstances, but by the quality of the person you are internally. The journey begins with a single decision to take responsibility for your life. To fix yourself first is to honor the calling on your life. It is to prepare for the opportunities that God has destined for you. It is to create a life that others can trust, respect, and follow. Self-neglect is a choice. Self-mastery is a responsibility. Every moment you invest in yourself pays dividends in every area of life. Education, skill, talent, and opportunities are all tools, but the person wielding them determines the outcome. Fix yourself first, and the tools will be effective. Fix yourself first, and every plan, every dream, every vision you have will find alignment with purpose. Fix yourself first, because nothing external can compensate for internal deficiency. Spiritual health, emotional balance, mental clarity, and moral integrity must all precede external achievement. Your personal life is the seed, your influence is the fruit. If the seed is weak, the fruit cannot be strong. If the seed is corrupted, the fruit will be bitter. Invest in yourself. Discipline your thoughts, purify your heart, and align your life with eternal principles. The world demands results, but God demands readiness. Until you are ready internally, external success will either evade you or bring destruction. Self-leadership is the cornerstone of all leadership. Self-respect is the foundation of all influence. Self-mastery is the prerequisite for all achievement. Fix yourself first, and everything else can wait. Because the person you become is the key to everything you desire. Your destiny is not outside of you, it is inside of you. Your potential is not in your environment, it is in your character. Your future is not in circumstances, it is in your discipline, focus, and commitment to self-development. Fix yourself first and everything else aligns. Fix yourself first and the chaos around you will begin to obey order. Fix yourself first, and your relationships, your career, your finances, and your legacy will begin to reflect the excellence you cultivate internally. This is not a suggestion, it is a mandate. The world will wait, but destiny will not. Until you take control of your life, everything external will remain unstable, uncertain, and unfulfilling. Take responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your purpose. Fix yourself first, because every influence you desire to have begins within. Greatness begins internally. Leadership begins internally. Influence begins internally. Your life is your platform. Your character is your currency. Your integrity is your magnet. Until you cultivate these internally, nothing externally will satisfy or endure. Fix yourself first, and the fullness of your life will manifest. Fix yourself first, and doors previously closed will swing open. Fix yourself first, and people, opportunities, and blessings will align. The world will not shape you. You must shape yourself. Circumstances will not correct you. You must correct yourself. No one can do the internal work for you. You must commit to personal growth, discipline, and alignment with God's principles. Fix yourself first, because the person you become determines everything you will achieve. Fix yourself first, and the world can wait. Your personal transformation is the prerequisite for your divine assignment. This is not a matter of theory or opinion. This is a principle ordained by God. Until you align your character, your mindset, your spirit, and your habits with His principles, no external effort, no matter how brilliant, will bring lasting impact. The truth is simple. The world measures success externally, but God measures it internally. The quality of your life is determined not by your position, your title, your wealth, or your environment, but by the person you are becoming on the inside. You cannot achieve your divine assignment without first fixing yourself. You cannot deliver on purpose if you are disconnected from the source of your power. You cannot be a vessel of influence if your vessel is cracked, contaminated, or unprepared. God's assignments demand readiness. They require discipline. They require character. They demand that you are more than just skilled. You must be spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and morally prepared to carry what He intends to place in your hands. The world is full of people chasing dreams, opportunities, and ambitions while neglecting their own personal transformation. They are like vessels that have never been cleansed, but are sent to deliver life-giving water. Until you purify your heart, your mind, and your intentions, the work you do will be tainted. The first requirement for every divine assignment is integrity. Integrity is not something that is built overnight. It is cultivated through consistent choices, accountability, humility, and obedience to the principles of God. Integrity is the cornerstone of personal transformation. Without it, even the greatest talent will produce disappointment. Without it, even the most gifted individual will fail to fulfill their purpose. Personal transformation is not about temporary change or superficial improvement. It is about fundamental reorientation, a complete recalibration of who you are, how you think, how you act, and how you relate to God and others. It is a journey of self-awareness where you begin to confront weaknesses, correct destructive patterns, and embrace habits that reflect excellence. Transformation demands honesty. You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot change what you pretend does not exist. You must take a careful, fearless inventory of your life. You must identify your weaknesses, confront your fears, and acknowledge the areas where you have been failing yourself and others. Until you are willing to do this, external success will elude you. You may achieve temporary victories, but they will not last, and they will not honor your divine purpose. Personal transformation also requires self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. It is the vehicle through which potential becomes reality. Without discipline, talent becomes wasted, opportunity becomes squandered, and time becomes your enemy. Discipline begins in small, daily decisions. It begins with choosing to speak life over negativity, to act with purpose over distraction, to study and prepare instead of procrastinating, to honor your commitments when no one is watching. Transformation is forged in the daily battles, in the choices no one else witnesses. It is not in grand gestures, but in consistent, faithful obedience to God's principles and to your own vision. Spiritual alignment is at the heart of personal transformation. Without a relationship with God, without communion with the source of wisdom and power, no personal change can endure. Spiritual alignment does not simply mean attending church or praying occasionally. It means surrendering your life fully to God, submitting your thoughts, your plans, your desires, and your actions to His will. It means allowing Him to mold you, correct you, and direct you according to His purpose. When your spirit is aligned, every other aspect of your life begins to fall into place. Your mindset, your emotions, your relationships, and your decisions all become sharper, clearer, and more effective. Transformation also demands a shift in mindset. Too many people operate with limited thinking, allowing fear, doubt, and discouragement to dictate their actions. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, and until you fix your mind, nothing external can be fully effective. A transformed mind is disciplined, focused, and oriented toward purpose. It is not swayed by circumstances or influenced by negativity. It is anchored in truth, empowered by faith, and guided by wisdom. Emotional stability is another critical component of personal transformation. Your emotions must serve you, not control you. You cannot lead others effectively if you are ruled by anger, resentment, fear, or insecurity. Emotional intelligence, the ability to manage your feelings and respond rather than react, is essential. When you master your emotions, you gain clarity, peace, and the capacity to make decisions that honor God and advance your purpose. Relationships also play a vital role in transformation. You cannot reach your potential in isolation. The people you associate with will influence your thinking, your behavior, and your destiny. Personal transformation involves surrounding yourself with those who will challenge, encourage, and hold you accountable. It requires pruning relationships that hinder growth and cultivating connections that inspire excellence. Every divine assignment requires influence. Influence begins internally. You cannot effectively impact the world if you have not first impacted yourself. The world may offer opportunities, titles, and positions, but without internal preparation, these external gifts will not bring success or fulfillment. Your divine assignment is tied to your readiness. Opportunities will come, but are you prepared to handle them with wisdom, maturity, and integrity? Will you use them to bless others and advance God's kingdom, or will you mishandle them and squander your destiny? Personal transformation is the key to unlocking these doors. Growth requires patience. You cannot rush the process. Transformation takes time because it involves the renewal of your mind, the recalibration of your heart, and the reshaping of your habits. You must trust the process and remain committed to daily improvement. Each day presents a new opportunity to fix what is broken within, to refine what is raw, and to align more closely with the principles of God. Accountability is essential. No one can transform in isolation. You must seek mentors, advisors, and friends who will speak truth into your life, challenge you when you stray, and celebrate your progress when you grow. Without accountability, transformation is incomplete, and the risk of regression is high. Knowledge without application is useless. Transformation requires action. You cannot simply understand what needs to change. You must act on it. You must implement discipline, embrace accountability, seek wisdom, and practice obedience. Action converts potential into reality. Transformation also demands humility. You cannot change if you are unwilling to admit mistakes, to learn, and to submit to correction. Pride blocks growth. Humility opens doors to understanding, wisdom, and progress. Every great leader, every effective influencer, every person who fulfills their divine assignment has embraced humility as a foundation for personal transformation. Forgiveness is another critical aspect. You cannot move forward while carrying grudges, bitterness, or resentment. Personal transformation involves releasing the past, forgiving yourself, and forgiving others. Only then can your heart be free to pursue your divine assignment with clarity and passion. Self-awareness is a cornerstone of transformation. You must understand who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your potential. Self-awareness allows you to navigate life intentionally rather than reactively. It empowers you to make choices that align with your purpose, rather than drift into mediocrity. Personal transformation is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. It requires continuous learning, growing, and refining. The moment you stop investing in your personal development, you begin to stagnate. The world is constantly evolving, and to fulfill your divine assignment, you must remain adaptable, disciplined, and committed to improvement. Your assignment is unique. No one else can fulfill it for you. You are called to a purpose that only you can achieve. Until you invest in your transformation, you will not be able to handle the responsibilities, challenges, and opportunities that God has prepared for you. Transformation is the gateway to impact. Without it, your influence will be limited, your success temporary, and your potential unfulfilled. When you commit to fixing yourself first, you align with God's plan, empower your mind, stabilize your emotions, cultivate your character, and develop the wisdom necessary to fulfill your assignment. Every opportunity, every blessing, every divine encounter will be maximized because you are prepared internally. The external world responds to the internal condition. When your spirit is aligned, your mind is disciplined, your character is refined, and your life is purified, the doors of opportunity, influence, and destiny swing open. Personal transformation is not optional for those who desire to fulfill their divine assignment. It is mandatory. It is the prerequisite. It is the first step in a chain of obedience that leads to impact, legacy, and fulfillment. Until you take responsibility for your transformation, you remain unprepared, your influence remains limited, and your potential remains untapped. The work begins with self-discipline, spiritual alignment, emotional intelligence, relational wisdom, and moral integrity. It continues with accountability, humility, patience, action, and continuous learning. Fix yourself first. Align your heart with God's principles. Purify your mind. Discipline your actions. Refine your character. Master your emotions. Surround yourself with those who elevate you. Release what binds you. Embrace what challenges you. Every moment invested in personal transformation multiplies your capacity for impact, expands your influence, and unlocks the doors of your divine assignment. The time to start is now. Do not delay. The world is waiting for people who are prepared internally to lead externally. Your assignment is ready. The doors are opening. But will you be ready to step through them with integrity, wisdom, and purpose? Fix yourself first, because nothing external can substitute for internal readiness. Transformation is the key that unlocks destiny. It is the bridge between potential and achievement. It is the foundation upon which every success is built. Commit yourself to personal transformation and everything else aligns. Your divine assignment will flow naturally, effortlessly, and powerfully through the person you have become. Your life will become a reflection of excellence, purpose, and impact. Your influence will grow, your opportunities will multiply, and your legacy will be secured. Personal transformation is the prerequisite. Fix yourself first, because the person you are becoming determines the effectiveness, longevity, and fruitfulness of everything you do.